Welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Today we are continuing with our topic conservation, and today we are going to look at method we use in conservation of natural resources. Please come along with me.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
We have learned about conservation before. Told you conservation is planned or judicious use of natural resources to ensure continuous availability of resources for man's benefit. We go over that we have two types of resources: renewable and non-renewable resources. From there, we look at the reasons why we need to conserve natural resources. We look at benefits of natural resources as well as the challenges that faces natural resources, most especially in this part of the world. Today, we are looking at ways we are going to conserve some of these resources we have mentioned earlier. Let's go. We will be guided by this objective. The first one is to state ways each of these resources can be conserved, and we should be able to mention the benefits of each of the resources, the benefits we are going to get by conserving each of these resources. The first one I'm starting with is conservation of wildlife. What is wildlife? Wildlife are a group of animal or plants that we find in the forest, or simply put, in the wild. Animal or plants that cannot be domesticated. Those ones that they cannot reside with us. Some animals live with us, like cats and dogs. Those ones are not wildlife. They are domesticated animals because they can live with us. Nobody will want to put lion or elephant or cheetah or snake in his house because they are dangerous. Now, the first part of the resources we are going to look at is wildlife. What is wildlife? Wildlife conservation is preservation and protection of animal, plants, and their habitats. Preservation, keeping it in the natural space. Protection, protect it from being killed, and destruction of their habitats. So wildlife are animal or plants that live permanently in the forest. Those animals that we cannot keep or breed in our houses. So those animals that we don't keep in our houses are what we call wildlife. If you walk along the express road, most especially in Lagos or other states in Nigeria, you see some people hawking animal along the road, different kind of animal. They call them bushmeat. So those animals we call bushmeat are wildlife because we only get them from the wild. So method of conserving this wildlife: number one, establishment of game reserve. Game reserve is where we keep this animal to monitor their development, to see them in their natural state. We also have zoo. Zoo are restricted natural environments that the animal is not in its natural state, but we cage it, we feed the animal just for people to see. But in forest reserves, these are their natural states, or national parks. These are natural environments that has been demarcated just specifically for conservation of natural resources. And we have lot of national park or forest reserves in Nigeria. Example is Yankari Game Reserve, Gashgan Gumti Game Reserve, Okomu Forest Reserve in Edo. All national parks are controlled by the federal government, and reserves are controlled by the states. Or the states control the national parks too. Then we have establishment of zoological gardens. Here at the back of our house, we can have a small garden. The zoological garden is where we nurture or breed these animals in their natural state. Then control hunting. Control the amount of animal we kill. Then prohibition of killing or poaching. People that are not authorized or the animals that are not needed should not be killed. Or indiscriminate felling of trees. We don't just cut trees that house these animals. So prohibition of bush burning. Because we want to build houses, we burn all the forest. We should restrict the burning, control burning. The next one is benefits of conservation of wildlife. From wildlife, we get food for human consumption, generate income for our benefit, then serve as tourist center. People travel all over the world just to see different kind of animals, different kind of forests in their natural state. The way these animals behave naturally, different kind of people travel. So tourists. Tourism is a good business, especially in eastern part of Africa. Most of their forests are good tourist centers. They provide research to get more knowledge about the natural animals, about the natural plants. The next one is conservation of water. As we know, every part of our environment is water. Water is about 70 to 60 or 80% of our ecosystem. So we need to conserve water. Part of the way we can conserve water is by getting storage tanks, by damming our rivers, by treatment and recycling of used water, by saving water, or prompt repair of pipe that has been busted. Then prevention of water pollution by treatment of sewage before they are transferred into the rivers. Then benefits of water conservation is also serve as food supply, because it's where we get most of fishes, shrimps, periwinkles that we eat. Everything is from water. So we need to conserve the water for hydropower generation, for useful for agricultural purpose. Water serves as a medium of transportation. So we need to protect this so that all these will not be destroyed. If you destroy all our water, food we will not get. Means of transportation we will not be able to use. So we need to protect our water. The next one is forest. Forest is an area of land that is basically trees. So we need to protect our tree. We need to protect our forest. How do we protect the forest? By cutting trees. By not cutting trees without their growth. You don't cut the whole tree. You leave part of it so that regeneration can be possible. We prevent bush burning, reforestation. When we cut one, we plant another one. We allow our tree to grow. Then prevention of plant pests and disease. Then establishment of forest reserve. Reserve that basically for growth of new trees. All these are some of ways we can conserve our forests. Then these are benefits we get from conservation of forests. We get food supply. We get source of timbers for construction. We get medicinal herbs. We get fuel. Then we get trees to build our homes from the forest. The next one is soil. How do we conserve soil? We conserve soil by preventing overgrazing. We don't allow animals to feed too much, thereby exposing the soil surface for erosion. Prevent indiscriminate felling of trees. We don't cut trees. We select trees that we cut. We select old trees and leave the young ones, so that as we are cutting the old, the young ones will make up for the ones we have cut. Then avoid clean clearing. That our forest becomes an open land. Our soil becomes open to direct ray of the sun and erosion. Then we can do by mulching, covering our soil with dead remains of plants. Then planting cover crops that grows and cover the surface of the soil, like your cowpeas. They are cover crops. Then adding manure to the soil. We only add manure to the soils that need it, not the soil that do not need manure or fertilizer. So So we add manure to preserve or improve their fertility. These are some of the benefits from conservation of soil. Soil support agricultural activity. Soil support forest and its resources. Soil support wildlife. And soil is home. So if you don't conserve, we destroy lots of organisms. Then soil is where we build all our house, so we need to conserve it. The next one is air. Conservation of air. Prevent this by prevention of fumes from automobile, proper treatment and disposal of sewage, proper disposal of dust from construction sites, which can cause air pollution. These are some of the ways we can conserve air. The benefits of conservation of air. Air provides us with oxygen. So if you conserve air, we get clean oxygen. Provide carbon dioxide, which is used for plants. Provide gaseous nitrogen, which is used for building of plants' body. Then it makes life more meaningful and comfortable. The next one is conservation of mineral resources. I have this as way we conserve mineral resources. One is there should be legislation against indiscriminate use, against indiscriminate mining. There should be effective and efficient utilization of resources available. We use resources that are available for us wisely. Over-dependence on a particular mineral resources is not good. That is why Nigeria will depend so much on crude oil. That is why the environment is being depleted more and more, because we continue to look for more crude oil. There should be proper pricing of mineral resources, correct pricing of resources, so that it will not affect, it will not increase the market value, so that everybody will not want to go into the business of mineral resources. These are some of the benefits you can get. It provides fuel, it's used for construction, it's necessary for industrial development, it's used an ornament for decoration, jewelries. Then mineral resources also serve as foreign exchange. If we are able to export some of these resources, we get money. Our country becomes developed. Now, mineral resources are necessary before they provide foreign exchange for us. The next one is we are going to look at some terms that they use in conservation. I have biodiversity, I have extinction, I have sanctuaries, I have national park, and sustainable development. Biodiversity is varieties of life in a particular habitat or ecosystem. This includes diversity between species, and the ecosystem. The different life forms we find in our ecosystem is what is known as biodiversity. Different life form, different kind of human being, different kind of animal, different kind of trees, different kind of different species. Everything forms biodiversity. The next one is endangered species. Endangered species that are in the brink of being extinct, that we don't see them, that are in danger, that their population is getting reduced. Day by day, their population is being reduced. Those are the species we say they are in endangered species. A lot of species are in endangered list now because they cannot reproduce, because their species are not reproducing very well, or because as a result of our technological advancement that we are building a lot of houses, we are chasing these animals out of their natural environment. So a lot of animals are in the endangered list. The next one is extinction. Extinction simply means disappear. When animals have disappeared from the surface of this earth, we say they have become extinct. Then we have a sanctuary. A sanctuary is a wildlife area that is safeguarded for or protected from hunting. This is another place we keep our animals that are endangered, so that we continue to monitor their development. We continue to see this animal. We continue their generation. We continue. The same way national park. National park is large area of land that is demarcated for basically for protection of, and then we have sustainable use. That means continue to use and use, continue to be available. We use resources so that it continue to be available for us. Now I have some practice questions to make us refresh our memory on what we have learned so far. I have number 1, 5 ways of conserving forest, stage 4 way of conserving soil, and benefit of soil, and what is endangered species. Give you a few minutes to go over this question. Welcome back. I hope you are able to pick 1 or 2 things from the practice question. Now I have some solutions. The first one is state 5 ways of conserving forests. I have here cutting of trees without destroying their growth. You cut tree, not destroying everything. That means uprooting it totally. That is what this one meant. The next one is reforestation. Plant new trees. When you cut one, plant another one. Prevention of bush burning. Control the part of the forest you want to burn, so that all trees in the forest will not be affected. Then establishment of forest reserve or national parks. Then practice selective cutting of trees. Cut trees that are older, not all trees. Older that can be manageable or can be replaced. Then embark on public or dangers of deforestation, public awareness. Why do we need to protect our forests? We keep enlightening people about the advantage in conservation and showing them the disadvantage if you don't protect our forests. The next one is conservation of soil. The same way, prevention of overgrazing, preventing indiscriminate felling of trees, avoid clearing to expose the soil to erosion. Then we should practice mulching, we should add manure to our soil. Benefit of soil conservation for agriculture, to support and production of more food, to support wildlife resources. It is to prevent desertification and ensure preservation of soil and soil fertility. The next one is endangered species. Endangered species are species whose population has become so small that they can completely be wiped out or becomes extinct or disappear if they are not properly managed. A lot of species are under the IUCN watch list. A lot has been extinct. A lot are vulnerable. Everything basically due to human error or human carelessness.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
For comments, observation, and more information on this topic we have done, feel free to get back to us on our social media handles that will be displayed on the screen. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects: mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, and biology, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates on this station. Learners can also connect with Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.